one of the main ones is that if you get a degree in ed tech, or if you're an ed leadership person, people are going to be asking you, well, what kind of computer do you have, what's your operating system, so on and so forth. And you should have a basic knowledge of what these machines are, the amount of memory you have, what you can do with that memory. Does that make sense? I mean, that's a justification, especially if you're in the ed tech program. I mean, this is a must. If you're in the ed leadership program, you're going to be ordering stuff and doing certain things. And I'd like you to know the kind of materials that you're using. You're going to buy your own sometimes. I've had somebody email me they want to buy something, and they're going to take something that the Best Buy person tells them to buy. And you ought to know the ins and outs of some of this technology. So I just want to show you a few things, and then I'm going to ask you, like for homework, Julio, go ahead.
I wanted to ask last week and I forgot. Is that screen recording a smartboard feature or a separate program?
Well, it used to be a smartboard feature, but now it's using QuickTime in the latest version. So if you have an older version of the notebook, you'll see the regular smart recorder. But this is using the QuickTime, which is a program that's built into the Mac, and you can download for the PC also. You can download this and record right from either one of those. So basically, you got your computer. Well, that's not good. Let me do this. So I just want to point out a couple of things there. Oh man, this is not working well. Let me move this. Okay, I know it's bad orientation. You have to tell me it's bad orientation. It's just like I'll tell my daughter she's doing something, and she's like, "Dad, don't tell me. I know what I'm doing." So the thing is that this is a bit off, so I may have some problems with this, but I'm not going to let it get me stuck. The thing is, with the computer, there's not a lot to it, and the more you know about it, the better off you are. So let me just use blue. There we go. And here's your keyboard. And you may have a mouse too. Yeah, it's not bad. I've done worse. And there's a monitor. I'm stretching it. Okay, so basically the computer is just it's a big machine. You know what it does. You all know what, you can get up to the net and do certain stuff. So the key features of the computer are this, that you ought to know, that I'm going to ask you to find out yourself and put it on your website, on that first page. I want to know the name of your computer. I mean, not like George or something like that. But, the name, Mac or PC, or Mac or Toshiba. That's it. And if there's a number like Toshiba 720 or whatever. Okay. Then I want you to know the screen size. Okay, the screen size is measured in pixels. So if you look at your computers here, if you look at these here, this is like 1,620 pixels across, the width. And yours might be smaller than that, so it might be like 1024 or 1268, depends. Now, the reason why that's important is because some things won't display. If you have older software, it may not display on smaller screens. You might have to make it bigger, or you might have to make your screen smaller, which you can do in your control panel. So your screen size, you'll find this on a Mac, it's easy to find. On a PC, it's in the control panel. If you're not sure, do a quick Google search, but you can find, it'll have the monitor, the display, and it'll show the size. It'll be like 1620 by 1200, 800 by 600. If you have 800 by 600, it's way too old. Way too old. That's the old days, like the turn of the century. way, way, way back. Okay, so
you want the screen size in terms of the pixel range, not the actual size.
Right, let's say pixels. Let's say 10,000, 1024 pixels by 768. Now, as an ed leader or as an ed tech person, this is important because some of the software that you buy or that you will use won't run on certain machines. So you got to know what you have. You know, you can't let people bulldoze you. You can't let people say, well, you can do this and do that. So you got to be careful. The other thing that you want to know is the colors. Now these days, most of these machines have millions of colors. But some machines you can actually, on a PC, you can actually go back down. Most of them, you can go back down from millions to thousands. And that's in the control panel as well. It'll say colors. Now on the Mac, let me show you on the Mac. It basically, okay, I'll go about this Mac. Oh, I didn't mean that. About this Mac. And you'll see something like this on the PC, though it won't be exactly like it. And then if I look at more info, it will show me a processor, the memory, gigabytes memory, serial number, and the system report. Kind of goes through everything. It's got the display and stuff. I mean, it's got so much here. But the things that are really important here are the memory. See that where it says 8 gigabytes memory? Memory is your RAM. Have you heard that term before, RAM? What does it mean?
Random access memory.
Okay, that's a definition. What does it mean? That's a definition, yeah.
It's it lets you programs to be running at the simultaneous times and do multiple tasks. If you don't have enough, then it's got to kick something out in order to keep it going. You were saying it before, like week one.
Right. So you need to have more memory to run more stuff. Sometimes if your stuff doesn't run, it's spinning. You're better off rebooting your computer, starting again, so that everything that's in memory will be erased. Once the computer's off, the things in memory are gone. You ever like have something happen? You're working on something, everything goes off, and you try and go back on, and it's not there anymore.
Yes.
That's good and bad. The good is the memory's clean. You have full memory. The bad is you lost all the story of your life, whatever you were working on. And I've lost amazing things on that. So you're going to look for the RAM.
Well, you didn't tell her how to find the color.
The colors here, this doesn't change on the Mac, unfortunately. So if you go to,
Sorry.
it's okay. But Mac, you can't change them. They're fixed at millions of colors. So if I go to system report, where is it? Over here. Over here. Display is on a Mac here. Built-in display. This is 1920. The way Dr. Ben has it now, it's like 1600 by 1200. And then if you look at display preferences, might have the color. You see, there's the sizes. I can change the sizes. And depending, sometimes I do that. I'll change the size because I have trouble seeing. I mean, these are monster size, and I have one that's bigger than this at home. It's like I'm driving the Enterprise, you know what I mean? So I'm sitting here and holy cow, it's like looking out. You know, the people are going to come in left and right and shoot. So I have to make it larger so I can see what's going on. And a lot of folks that you work with will be of that ilk. They may be kids who have like thick glasses, who have trouble seeing. So you need to know how you're going to change the screen for that person. Does that make sense? I mean, that's the logic of it. Then for colors, looking here at the color, it should say just millions of colors. Sharp, display, open the profile. It's kind of changed a bit now because you really can't change the colors on the Apple anymore because it's fixed at 16 million, so it's not even going to show that. But on a PC, the newest, if you get a new PC, you might not be able to change the colors at all as well. I'm not sure. You might check. But basically, what you want to know is the RAM and the size. Those are the major things you want to know. Okay. The one other thing is your memory storage, your hard disk. Do you know how much your hard disk is?
You're talking the hard drive?
Yeah, the hard drive. Your hard drive. Yeah. You know how big yours is?
250 gigs.
250 gigs.
Yes.
It's pretty good. You know how big yours is?
I think 500.
500 gigs. Ah,
She beat me.
she beats you, yeah. Anybody have bigger than 500 gigs?
Does my external hard drive go?
Isn't
Yeah.
there now like a tera
Yeah,
gig or-
yeah. Yeah, you can buy external drives that are pretty big too. So if you find out like your computer has too much, it's not working well, you can always buy an external drive, and with that external drive, just hook it up to your computer and keep saving. So those are the major things. So I want you to go home and look at your computer, and then if you have 2 gigs, you got to rush out and get more. That's not enough. If you have 4 gigs, that's minimum for the RAM. If you have less than that, because the operating system uses a bunch of RAM already. So look at your machines, and there are certain things you can do with your computers that you can make them faster. So if you have a hard drive on your, who has laptops? Okay, you can replace the laptop hard drive, usually like 50 or 60 bucks, from 350, you said 250 yours?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty
You
sure.
go up to 500 for like 40, 50 bucks, and another 10 to 20 bucks, you can get a faster hard drive. Hard drives are measured in revolutions per minute. So it's like you hear like 5,400 RPM. You can buy a 7,200 RPM now. That'll make your computer more zippy if you get that. And they even have drives now that are solid state like those thumb drives. So that means that they come on instantly, and it's even faster than that. So if you have a computer, you're having trouble with it, you can talk to me or Dr. Abed. You can think about getting yourself some more RAM. You can put in your own RAM to these things. And the same thing when you're working at school. If you're working with people that are having trouble, you can tell them, well, how much RAM do you have? I don't know. Well, let's see. Maybe you need more RAM. Okay? Question? I have at least one question or comment about that. Yes.
You want us to get this information, put it on our YOLA site
Yeah.
under content or the homepage?
No, on your homepage, just like as part of your description, like you're born in Hartford, Connecticut, 6 gigabytes of RAM, so, stuff like that.